Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Poets and Quants' online MBA admissions panel, Behind the Application with Texas A&M Mays, University of North Carolina Kenan-Flagler, and University of Florida Warrington. I'm your host, Christy Blyzeffer of Poets and Quants. Please feel free to use the Q&A function to submit any questions you have for our panelists, and I'll do my best to get to those at the end of the session. Well, thank you all for taking the time to join us today, and we're going to start by getting to know each of you a little bit better. If you would introduce yourself and your business school, of course, its mission and values, location, reputation, all that kind of stuff. And Myra, let's go ahead and start with you.
Sure. Thank you. And thanks for being here. Myra Gonzalez. I'm the director of our Flex Online MBA program, relatively new program here at Mays Business School. We basically develop leaders of character who positively impact the communities where they live, work, and serve through the graduate education that we offer. Our Flex Online MBA is a 16-month compact, fast-paced program for working professionals. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. And Laura.
My name is Laura Tremaine, and I'm the Associate Director of Admissions for our online MBA program at UNC Kenan-Flagler. And Kenan-Flagler is located in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, which is pretty much in the center of our state. We are one of 5 MBA programs at UNC Kenan-Flagler. Our online program was launched almost 15 years ago. Next year is our 15-year anniversary. And it's definitely for working professionals as well. We have 4 working professional MBA programs, and our same Kenan-Flagler faculty teach across all of these formats, and they're all 62 credits.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Naz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Naz Aranguch. I'm the Director of Admissions at the MBA program here at the Warrington College of Business at the University of Florida. And I have the wonderful opportunity to oversee admissions and kind of recruiting for 9 of our programs. That includes our full-time, executive, weekend, part-time, and of course, the topic of today, our online program. So we offer a 1-year and a 2-year online MBA program. So our credit hours vary depending on which format you choose, either the accelerated option, which is 32 credits, or 48 in the 2-year format. And we've been around for quite some time. We are a pioneer. We've launched our program back in 1999. And the great thing about our online program is you only have to come to the swamp once at the beginning. So you can come to the swamp, which we're located in Gainesville, Florida. So I know we'll get into a lot more detail here as this progresses, but thanks to Poets and Quants for having us.
Yeah, and thank you all for taking the time. I had the pleasure of speaking to alumni for each of your schools yesterday for our student panel, and I encourage all the viewers to go check out that too, because you're going to get a totally different feel for a program from the students who take it versus, the admissions folks. So both good information for you to have. So Laura, let's start with you. Share us a little bit more about kind of the nuts and bolts of that online program, the balance between synchronous, asynchronous, the cadence, curriculum, specialties if you have them, that kind of thing.
Sure. So our program is a mix of asynchronous and synchronous content. So our students will attend asynchronous classes every week. We offer classes in the evenings, Monday through Thursdays, either at 6 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our students are required to attend a class session. You get to choose what class, what day and time, but you are required to be in that class each week. We're on a quarter system. So our quarters are about 10 weeks of classes, and the classes are 2 hours in total. One thing I love about our program is our class size is really small. We have at most 25 students in every single class, including our core classes. So students are on camera, they're participating, really active engagement within class. And that's really how our students get to know each other, get to know the faculty. So that's the synchronous part. The asynchronous work is going to be done all week long, preparing for your next class. So you're going to be doing work on your own, but then also a lot of teamwork. So our program is very collaborative in nature. There's going to be a lot of project and group work. And you'll be busy with that maybe 10 hours per class a week. So that mix is kind of, a good thing for most people who want that in-person kind of feel with an online program, but then also the ability to do the schoolwork on your own time. As I mentioned before, our program is 62 hours, and that is going to be 24 hours of your core classes, which you'll do over the first 3 quarters of our program. And then the rest of it is in electives. So kind of having that fast pace through core to get the basic business fundamentals, but then allowing you to have a lot of time with your electives and really get that option to kind of tailor this MBA toward what you need and are interested in. So we have concentrations that we offer our students to really focus in on those specific subject areas like finance and marketing and data analytics, a whole list of concentrations. But then you can also just choose to take electives that you're interested in, and you don't have to choose a concentration. So again, we really try and provide our students with a lot of flexibility to take the classes that they need to get those skills, the knowledge, and everything that they want out of their MBA. And I do see we've lost our host. I know that she mentioned at the start she was having some internet issues. So
yes.
Oh, great.
I'll go ahead and go next because I feel like our program is very similar to yours at UNC, Laura. We also have the sync and async opportunities. Our cohort sessions in the evenings are optional, but highly recommended because it is how you build your network. Our courses have those cohort sessions at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also do a lot of group work. And we've worked very closely with our faculty to ensure they're asking no more than 10 hours a week of our students in each class so that they can manage working, family, and school at the same time. So our data and technology literacy focused curriculum provides those industry-driven skills for people to upskill and reskill that's so needed today. And of course, we have those practical applications of AI through almost every course. Some other key differentiators of our program is we offer the opportunity of up to 4 certificates. So that would be kind of our version of specialization. Those 4 certificates do not add additional time to your degree with us. And they can choose from marketing, business intelligence analytics, business data analytics, entrepreneurship, finance, and supply chain. We also have kind of a values-driven leadership development piece to our curriculum. We have best practices for building high-performing teams, so that teamwork is an important aspect. So if you don't like teams, this might not be the program for you because it is very engaging and very much part of who we are. And some other differentiators are just the customer service and dedicated billing and financial aid people that you get in our program. Thank you.
Thanks, Mira, for jumping in there. And I am jumping in on the poets and quants side for my teammate who just lost her power. I'm Leanne Maciel. We'll keep the conversation going. I believe, Naz, we still need to talk to you about the curriculum, the asynchronous versus synchronous. Give us the skinny on Warrington.
Yeah, so the lowdown on Warrington. So, we are an asynchronous program. Now, the beauty of our asynchronous program is that it does actually still require students to come to campus for orientation. So students will have to come to Gainesville just for the beginning 2 days of orientation, and that's mainly so they can meet their classmates. We're typically bringing in a cohort of about 70 to 75 in our 2-year program and about 45 to 50 in the 1-year program. And I'll talk about that here momentarily. But the cool thing is you come to Gainesville for orientation, just that first 2 days, and then everything else you do is asynchronous. All of our faculty have pre-recorded their lectures, so you're able to download them and watch them at your own pace and convenience. So depending on your time zone, maybe you're deployed, maybe you're going on deployment, maybe you're just somebody that's a night owl and wants to watch lectures at night or early in the morning. We have this asynchronous format that we think really, really works well for our student population because we recognize you're busy working professionals working 40, 50, 60, you name it, hours a week. And so one of the things that I say is that also with our program, that it is still cohort based. So you're still going to come in with your group of classmates, and you're going to start together, from either bottom up or midway through, depending on which format, and you're going to take the exact same courses from start to finish. The beauty of that is, although there might not be as much curriculum flexibility, we feel like we have designed a curriculum that is really well kind of balanced with all of the industry, kind of needs of a business leader today. So we've been able to kind of create a curriculum that allows this lockstep nature to ensure that nobody falls off the train. We pride ourselves on having a graduation and retention rate of over 90% with our online program. And so, with the curriculum itself, all of the courses have been prescribed with the exception of one course. This one course, our students have the ability to either take this in a synchronous manner or still in an asynchronous online format. So let's say you want to do this online program, you really want that heightened level of flexibility, but maybe, you just want this opportunity to take a little bit of a deeper dive in, let's say, participating in a business policy course with the Washington campus, or maybe going on one of our global immersion trips, or coming to campus for a one-week residency course. We have an opportunity for our students to choose one elective course that is focused on experiential learning for them to do that, whichever manner makes sense for them. And so it is fully asynchronous. Once you start the train, we hope that you kind of get to the station that you're ultimately going to get off on, which is your MBA station. And so the other great thing is that with the program, we say the average weekly time commitment is about 15 to 20 hours a week. So very consistent with what Laura and Myra were talking about. We are structured so that you take 2 classes per term. We're also on a quarter system, so you're running every 10 weeks a new set of 2 classes. Now, the last thing that I'll kind of throw out there is that, as I said at the beginning, we offer a 1-year and a 2-year program. Our 1-year 32 credit hour, 16-month program is designed for those who have already taken the business fundamentals. They already have a business degree within the last 7 years, so they don't need to repeat those core classes. Whereas our 2-year program, 48 credit hours, 24 months to complete, is designed for those who have never seen a business course before in their life. And so this is where we see a lot of our engineers or healthcare providers or those liberal arts majors that are like, hey, I need this business acumen, but how will I be able to fare? And the great news is we start tabula rasa from scratch, so you can start this MBA program and build those fundamentals and move upward. And so, but yeah, 2 classes per term. It'll either be 16 months or 24 months. And then the last thing I'll say is that we do have 3 intakes per year. So we do a fall, spring, and summer. So that allows multiple cohorts to be running simultaneously.
Great. Thank you for that wonderful overview. Mira, I'll go to you with the next question. I want to talk a little bit about immersion or experiential opportunities that might be offered, and whether, what those might look like. Are they mandatory? Are they optional? How does that all work at Texas A&M?
Sure. So our Flex Online MBA was purpose-built for working professionals and with kind of minimal career disruption in mind. So we ask that students come to campus for a 2.5-day orientation. It is required. It is one of the non-negotiables of starting, because, getting to meet your peers and getting to know them, doing the networking and team building is such an important aspect of getting off on the right foot. So that is the one time we require students to come together. Beyond that, they are welcome to come for graduation and an awards hooding ceremony that we do at the end as well. And then throughout the year, we offer a variety of networking opportunities. Our cohort sessions are very engaging. And in fact, we just had our first Aggie Ring Day. So students earning their ring as they get ready to graduate here is a big deal. And we had almost half of the cohort come and pick up their ring, and you could tell that they had all really bonded very closely despite being an online program. So that was fun to watch.
Great. That must be a great experience to build a sense of community, even though they're mostly virtual. That's great.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And Naz, I'll go to you with the same question about the immersion opportunities.
Yeah, so we have a number of immersion opportunities, one of which is our global immersion trips. These are, I would say one of our most popular opportunities. In fact, we just had a group return from Japan just a couple days ago. So about 3 times a year, we run these 1-week study tours where students can go abroad. They can basically understand more about global business through the lens of business leaders in that country and learn more about the customs and culture of that country. And so we run 3 of these trips, 1-week trips a year. All of our students are welcome to attend these. And every year they vary in location. So we were in Greece last year, as well as Vietnam. We were in Santiago, Chile, not that long ago. And so we kind of alternate where we kind of ultimately land. So we do 1-week study tours abroad. And part of this global immersion experience includes a global strategy challenge where we help a company there with a kind of smaller scale consulting project. So we do these global trips. They're, hugely popular. We also offer domestic immersion opportunities for those that can't necessarily travel abroad. And in fact, not that long ago, we were, in San Francisco, meeting with, a number of companies, big one, NVIDIA, because obviously AI is huge here at Warrington as well. And so we have an opportunity to do a domestic trip. But then, as I said, we have our Washington campus and we have other opportunities to really kind of understand how you can apply what we're learning in the classroom to the real world. And that's ultimately what the core of what these experiential or global immersion, opportunities are all about.
Great. Thank you so much. And Laura, what about at UNC?
We have a lot of opportunities for our students to meet in person. So just like Myra was saying, we have a required orientation at the start of the program. And we actually offer 4 different start dates. So we do this orientation 4 times a year. And it's a great way for each cohort to come to Chapel Hill, to see campus, to feel a part of the university, to meet their classmates, meet faculty and staff, and really learn about the program in greater detail, how to make the most of all the different opportunities. They do practice case studies, and there's an AI workshop. Our career coaches are there. Doing workshops as well. So it's a great weekend, a great way to start the program. Our students are also required to attend a summit within their first year of the program. And summits are something very unique to our program. It's a global opportunity where a large group of students gather, either international or in Chapel Hill. And we have a global team that plans all of these weekends. So they're offered quarterly, always twice in Chapel Hill. These are going to be track-based. And so students sign up for a specific topic that they're interested in exploring. We always have leadership topics. This coming December, we have a healthcare track. And so we've got over 100 of our MBA at UNC students gathering for these. So it's an amazing opportunity to not only network with maybe your cohort that you met at orientation and you've been in classes with in your core, but also students from across the program, because we have over 500 students in our program. So that's really an amazing opportunity. Then we also have our international summits. So again, similar to Chapel Hill, it's a Power Pack 3-day in an international location. So this coming year, we're going to be in Dublin, Ireland, and Berlin, Germany. And we rotate these places all the time too. So many different countries. I don't know what's to bring in 2027, but it's exciting. It's such a great way to experience a country, have a deep dive into how geography and economics and history and everything impacts how they do business. And again, you get to go with a group of 60 to 75 of your MBA students. So it's only students in our program, only in our online MBA program as well. So again, very distinctive and a great opportunity for our students. And then we also offer a lot of global electives, and those again are probably similar to other universities where we have partner universities. So we'll have a handful of Kenan-Flagler students who will have the opportunity to do an elective in numerous countries around the world. We also have a program that's a consulting program, and it's called STAR. And so it's student teams achieving results. And students apply to be in this program. They come to Chapel Hill for a kickoff weekend. They're put into groups with other MBA students, and they work with a client on an actual problem. And they, spend about 5 months working together as a team, really getting that hands-on learning experience. And they go and meet with that client in the end and propose this solution. So it's a great way for our students to really practice the skills and that their knowledge that they're learning in their classes with a real life consulting project. Our students also can come to campus and take classes with their electives. So this is something that gives them a lot of different opportunities to take different electives, and again, to meet a larger cohort and network of Kenan-Flagler students. So we really try and find a lot of ways for our students to have these opportunities for in-person. We hear that a lot, that students, want to come to campus more, want to have that. So there's a lot of ways, some that are required, but a lot of that are just optional. And then of course we have graduation. And I know that you guys mentioned that. And our students, we have a fall and a spring graduation with our other MBA programs. And I would say maybe 75% of our students come to graduation with their families. It's in the Dean Smith Center, classic basketball stadium. It's very exciting and very celebratory.
That's great. Thank you. It sounds like they receive the same kind of sense of community as a full-time student would as well. So that's great. Let's talk. I want to stick with you, Laura, just because a couple of things you said there, just in terms of networking, right, and the vast alumni network, right, for Kenan-Flagler. What resources or tools are the students, the online MBA students, provided with to kind of help them tap into that network for networking for jobs and so on and so forth?
Yeah, so we have a career coaching team who works just with our online MBA students, 5 career coaches, and they do a lot of very personal help with that network building. I think a lot of our students naturally do this networking when they're in class and when they're talking with these other classmates who are all working full time. I mean, this is kind of your biggest, best network while you're in the program are your classmates. But in terms of needing to go outside that and reach out to other Kenan-Flagler graduates, our career coaches can help students kind of think of a plan for doing that. And also, I think our Kenan-Flagler community is so collaborative in nature and very much wanting to help each other out that I hear all the time that alumni have students reach out and, make connections for them. And everyone is just very willing to help and wanting to be that resource. I also think, building a network, because we have those in-person classes and that small class size, you are really engaging with people every single week and getting to know people and establish really deep relationships. And I do think that helps our students make those connections pretty quickly and easily.
That's great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Naz, same to you. Question to you around the alumni network, the tools, the resources that the online MBA students are provided with to help them tap into that network.
Yeah. So I think that the networking component is such an important one because so much of the MBA program, of course, is about learning from your faculty, but I would argue that a lot of learning happens, within your immediate team members and your cohort mates. And so, you're going to do endless networking with your immediate teammates. You'll have every semester you'll be in teams of about 3 or 4. Every semester we encourage teams to dissolve and form new teams, so you get to work with others in each one of your classes. So once again, you will get to know your cohort mates the best. But beyond that, there's a lot that we do to really ensure networking beyond the cohort is also something that is occurring. Mainly, we do this from of course our career coaches. If you're looking to change industry or job, if you're looking to just make connections with other individuals within your organization. Of course, you can tap into, our dedicated career coach that will assist you. But beyond that, we actually have a whole team that is focused on the student engagement side of things, right? So you have your academic advisor, you have your career coach, and then you have our professional development team and our student engagement team. And the student engagement team has really one goal. Their goal is to, based on the title, engage our students in multiple facets. And part of that is, and I would say every one of those events that they host, whether it's our MBA Summit series or our mini conference series, or, we do a number of speaker series. We have students come back to campus for residency weekends. Whatever it may be, the focal point of it is skill-based and networking-based. And these two things are really important because we want to allow our students an opportunity to learn something new, but learning something with your peers is a fantastic opportunity. And so in addition to kind of doing these events, we do a fun tailgate every year. So in fact, just a few weeks ago around UF Homecoming, we had about 600 students, current students and alums come back to Gainesville and show their Gator pride and come together as a big congregation of Gators, if you will. But beyond that, our MBA summits, we do these events kind of throughout the year in different locations in peak markets, big markets of which we're drawing students from. And so in just a couple of weeks, we'll be in South Florida and West Palm Beach. A few weeks ago, we were in DC. And so we choose our MBA summits. These are usually a 3-day where we do networking events. We have an industry leader come and speak to our students and connect with our students. And usually that industry leader, surprise, surprise, is an alumni of the program. And then we usually do some skill-based learning as well. And so everything that we have is done with intentionality of building one's network. A thing that I like to say is you're only going to do an MBA once, right? Hopefully. Yeah, I think everybody on here is considering that. And so when you're going to do it, you have to do it right. And part of that is networking, really maximizing the experiences both inside and outside of the classroom. And so as being a part of the MBA program here at Warrington, you also get to share this experience with about 900 others. And this is a great opportunity to, whether it's through our internal community pages, getting to know others in other cohorts, or coming to campus for various events, or meeting them, across the US or even abroad. There are so many ways to really hone in on those networking opportunities. But at the end of the day, we have over 14,000 graduates of the program, and it's always kind of really heartwarming to kind of see our students come together in different ways, even once they've graduated, how they, our alum, are intentional about giving back to the Gator community and being able to mentor, speak to our students. So the networking might start as soon as you come to Gainesville for orientation, but it's actually something that we help foster and facilitate for a lifetime.
That's great. Thank you. Both you, Naz, and Laura talked about, the experience of the cohort together. And I know myself in my business school experience, I learned just as much from my peers as from the professors. And that's such an important part of that, of the experience. So that's interesting to hear that from both of you. Mira, you talk a little bit about the alumni networking opportunities at Mays.
Sure. So Texas A&M is famous, or infamous, I should say, for our Aggie network, right? So it's large. And we begin much like UNC in Florida at orientation by building that community, using their peers and leveraging their peers. We have cohorts of about 200 to 250 students. So that's 200 to 250 opportunities to meet someone either in the industry or in another company that you might be interested in working in. Those live cohort sessions in the evenings are great ways to get to know people. Our teamwork, much like they mentioned as well, is also an important piece to getting to know people in different industries. Our monthly community building activities as well. So we will do networking and social hours around the state as well as out of state as well. We have one this evening with Texas Young Professionals, just bringing people together to get to know each other and network. We too have an annual tailgate and an annual holiday party. So those are kind of the givens, right? And then our Aggie Ring Days. And then, of course, at graduation time, there's lots of camaraderie and lots of former students that come back to celebrate with colleagues and peers. So many of the same activities, but definitely a strong piece of the MBA experience here.
Great, thank you. See, Laura, I'll start the next question with you as well. I'm just thinking about someone who is thinking about business school in general. They might be curious about, do I need it? What, the ROI? Is the online program right for me? Should I do traditional full-time program? What would be your advice to help them determine the best type of program for them and their career aspirations?
There are so many different options. I know it can be so overwhelming. Even within the online space is, changed so much from the time, we started, and I'm sure, even all of you started. So it is a lot to think about and a lot to consider. So I think that for people considering an MBA, I think it's really important to do a lot of research and to do a lot of talking. Think about what your goals are. What is that career path that you want to be in? What is that ultimate role for you? And talking with those people to find out how they got there. Do you need that MBA to get there? What are those skills that are going to be important for that job? And can this MBA help you with those skills? Because there's going to be a lot of differences, not only in MBA programs, but in specialized master's programs and all of the different things that you can choose. So I feel like an MBA is going to provide you with a really good broad understanding of business and that versatility to kind of make decisions in your career and have, a big foundation to draw on, which is really nice compared to maybe more a specialized master's program, especially as business is changing and we can only predict what's going to come next. Having those really good skills, that's always going to be a good tool for you. The knowledge is always going to be changing and updating. So I think, with UNC Kenan-Flagler, we are really helping to try and develop those skills with our students. So teaching those soft skills, those communication, negotiation, all of those things that are going to help them be strong leaders. I think one of the best things we do in our program is our leadership development. We've spent a lot of time coming up with ways for our students to develop those skills in experiential learning programs. You can actually earn a Leadership Academy certificate in conjunction with your MBA with our program, and that's only for our online MBA students. So a lot of different ways to help you build as a leader, because I think ultimately that's going to be a skill that's going to always be important to have.
Great, thank you. And Mira, what about you? What advice would you have for someone? Here are so many options.
Yes.
How do I make the right choice for myself?
Yes. So we too offer a variety of formats of MBA, right? We have the in-person full-time, we have some weekend programs in Houston, and then we have our online program. And as we visit with candidates, we often ask them to consider their learning style. Do they learn best face-to-face, or are they okay with self-directed learning? That's a big piece of it. Also, the amount of engagement. So there are some folks that want to log in and log off and be done. That is certainly not us. And so we encourage folks to think about, how much in-person, how much teamwork, are they looking to network, those kinds of things. People have different motivations for pursuing their MBAs. Thirdly, I'd say recommend looking at cultures and values of the institutions you're looking at, and do those fit with you? Here we're big into respect and excellence, leadership, loyalty, integrity, and selfless service. So if that's not something you identify with, think about fit. And also, do you connect with staff as you're working with them through the admissions process and the enrollment process? Do you get the responses that you need quickly? And do you feel like this is someone you could work with over the next several months?
Great advice. Know yourself. That's key. And Naz, your advice.
Yeah, so I think that both the kind of the core of this of do you want to do the full-time? Do you want to do a part-time? what does, that decision tree look like? And at the end of the day, when you're kind of thinking about, okay, well, which route to go, you have to be able to address what is the value proposition that you're looking to get out of a program, right? So each one of our programs here has a very robust program for those who want an online option. Now, we also offer a fantastic, in-person experiences. So you have to kind of make the decision of what do you want that journey to look like, and how well do you learn in kind of the virtual space. And so, I think it's first that decision tree of, can you, quit your job, or do you want to keep your job? And then that will discern like full-time or part-time. Okay, now we have the next level of that decision tree of, okay, once you are thinking, hey, I got to keep my job, I can't just relocate my family, I can't do all that. Then you start deciding, okay, well, of the options of the programs I'm looking at, what formats work best for me? And so, you might say an executive format, or a weekend part-time, or maybe an evening. But the online program, I think, is a fantastic ability to earn that transferable skill set with really minimizing your day-to-day lifestyle, right? And so that's the beauty of it, is that we deliver that flexibility. And I'll tell you that roughly 40% of our students who are in our Warrington MBA program are living outside of the state of Florida, and they're living, abroad. And so because of that, having that heightened level of flexibility. So really, as I'm talking to prospective students, it's kind of, what are you looking to get out of it? Do you want a transactional experience, or do you want a transformative experience? I'll tell you, none of the Warrington MBA programs are just going to be transactional, because you're going to interact with your classmates. You're going to interact with your faculty members, with their career coaches, with their academic advisors. There are going to be a plethora of ways in which you cannot hide in our MBA program. And I think that's really important, because if you want an engaged experience, once again, going back to that cheesy, like, you're only going to do it once. So really give this experience a bear hug. And part of that experience is being intentional about how you're consuming all of this MBA beyond the classroom opportunities. And so when you're thinking about this value proposition, what beyond the classroom are you looking for? And oftentimes I might have students that are like, hey, I want an online program that has minimal interaction. Okay, once again, maybe we're not the right program for you. Or maybe, hey, I want an MBA that focuses in just this or just that. Once again, maybe, you have to look at programs that really meet your needs. And so I think it actually starts with you as a candidate understanding, what is the value proposition? What are you hoping to get out of the program? What are you hoping to be able to provide and kind of give part of yourself into that program? How are those two aligned? Because I think, at the end of the day, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, you're going to recognize that there's a symbiotic relationship between you and whatever program you choose. You will always feed that program's network, and you will also always be, in kind of the glory and the heels of that program, because that program is going to be on your resume and your LinkedIn profile. So it's that understanding kind of how the two work well together, and how can you fit into that community, and how does that community help you, with ultimately your career objectives.
Great, thank you. Mira, someone watching has decided online MBA, Texas A&M, they're going to start the application. What's your advice? Whether it's a specific tip, advice, approach, mindset, what would you say to them?
I would say to them, be sure you do your homework before you come for an admission interview. I want you to tell us why we're the best fit for you. Did you look at specialized masters that might be half the cost and be more exciting for you and meet your career needs? Or did you look at other institutions that maybe have a different format? Did you look at some of our other formats? For instance, the weekend programs in Houston, or the full-time program. Again, why is the online option the best fit for you? And really, we want to see that they've put a lot of thought into it, that they're very intentional too on their side of applying and looking for the right fit program. So the admissions process is all about fit, and we ask that folks come prepared and well-researched.
Got it. Perfect. Naz, same to you. They're looking at the Warrington application. What should be their thought process, their mindset?
So I would say being authentic and coming to the application process, not with this mentality of what does the admissions team want to hear, but rather what do you have to offer? And I think a lot of this is just understanding the applicant's self-awareness and how they can fit into the larger culture of Warrington. So I think it's really just coming in, being authentic and being excited to be a Gator. Once again, this is some individuals only opportunity to become a Gator. So it's demonstrating that excitement and that grit and that ability to want to roll up their sleeves and really dive into everything that we have to offer.
Great, thank you. And Laura, same question to you.
All right. Well, it's kind of the same as what we're all saying. I mean, we want to get to know each applicant. We want to know their story. We want to understand what their goals are and what their hopes and dreams are and how we can help them get there and how they want to contribute back to our community. So I think that, taking time with the application, really providing thoughtful answers in your essays. We have an interview as part of our application. Again, so we want to get to know people's stories. We don't just want to look at one aspect and make decisions off of that. So just understanding that, everything you submit is a full package for, what we're going to see from you. And so we're kind of trying to thread it all together and know who you are. And so I think, just that authenticity is really important.
Great. Thank you. And Laura, the final question, I'll start with you. To those who will be watching the session in coming weeks and months, if they are interested in, applying, what should be their next steps? How can they reach out to you, the team? What would you suggest?
So you can go on our website and you can start an application. And within 24 hours of starting an application, someone will reach out to you. And this is going to be your enrollment advisor who's going to be working with you throughout your time in the admissions process. You're welcome to email me directly and ask any questions. We really want to help anyone interested in our program get all of those answers they need, connect them with current students and alumni, have them sit in on a class, experience what our program is like. So it's really easy to get connected these days. I feel like there's, a lot of information on our websites. And so just doing that research, kind of getting that feel, but really talking with people, whether it's current students, alumni, admission staff, and, any other staff in our program.
Right. And Naz, same to you. What should they do? How should they reach out?
Yeah, so my team and I, we do weekly virtual info sessions. So if you'd like to learn more about Warrington, you could most certainly join one of our virtual info sessions. We do open houses throughout the year. We do coffee chats. So my team is always on the road, both in state and out of state. And so there are plenty of opportunities to connect. But of course, I always say, just reach out to me directly, call me, email me. If you have questions about the fit and how, how you can kind of build your candidacy and be a competitive applicant for the program, I want you to have that, direct dialogue with me. Reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. But my team and I, we are here and happy to answer any of the questions you may have, because oftentimes I think, it's the biggest hurdle of trying to kind of, as an applicant gets into their head and they're like, do I have the time? Do I have, how will I fit this into my life? Things like that. And so I think having just that conversation and talking through with my team or myself can be hugely beneficial. So just reach out.
Great. And Myra, finally, same question.
Sure. So very similar. On our website at the very top, there's a request information and there's an apply now button. Those are easy peasy. If you'd like to connect with a real person, we have 2 recruiting specialists. That's Manny Suarez and Brian Johnson. They can have virtual meetings with you, email us, reach out to me directly as well. We're happy to answer any questions. Pretty easy to contact us as well. We do virtual information sessions monthly. So on our website, you can see those on our calendar.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, Laura, Naz, Mira, thank you all for sharing all of the very unique aspects of your programs, and to our readers out there. These are great, three really great top online MBA programs. We encourage you to reach out, as they really truly do want to hear from you. So please do that. And we appreciate your time as always, and your patience with our rotating moderators here. But thank you all for your time, and thank you all for watching. This is Leanne Maceo with Poets and Quants.